Alright, so in this geometry video, we are going to be talking about points of tangency, so let's get started. So if you have a circle, so let's pretend you have a circle over here, and we have center point A. We have point A over here. And we're going to label it as point A, because that's what we're going to call it. Now let's draw a radius, right? So I'm going to draw a radius right here. And now we have a radius right here, alright? So we have our radius. Now, how would you build a right triangle? Just based off of this. We have point A, we have a radius. How would you build a right triangle? Well, the way we would build a right triangle is, well, you would say we would take a point and we could place the point over here, and then we could have a line that would, like, let's say we had like a line that just went from here, and this line just touched the circle over here, right? So the line didn't exactly intersect the entire circle, but it just touches the circle. And then we have, just connect this, and we can just draw over this. And that's how you would draw a right triangle, and you're perfectly correct. So we can have another point over here, which would be, and these two would be equal. So if this is x, the radii would be equal. But this line over here, we call this a line of tangency, and this point over here is a special point. We call it point of tangency. Now, if I were to extend this line, this would be called a line of tangency. So I'm going to give an example. We are going to go into presentation mode. So let's take a look at this. So if we have a circle, how would you draw a point of tangency, or a line of tangency? Well, the first step would be to pick a point of tangency, which I'm going to pick a point right over here. Now we have to draw a line of tangency. And this line can be like right here, and like that. And so a line of tangency will it'll touch the circle. So like, it'll go like this, it'll just touch the circle perfectly. So around this is also a point of tangency. And this line can extend and extend. So this would be called a point of tangency, and this would also be called a point of tangency. And the reason why this is useful is you can build right triangles out of this, as we saw in this example. We built a right triangle by using point of tangency. Now let's actually build a right triangle using points of tangency. I want you to go ahead and build a right triangle. Alright, so hopefully you've built a right triangle using the information we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my solution. Alright, so we have a circle here. The first thing I want to do when I'm building my right triangle is draw a radius, and the center should be like right over here. So I'm just going, yeah, alright. So we want to draw a radius. Now, I'm going to draw a radius right over here. And this point right here, you draw your radius down, that's going to be the point of tangency. So that's going to be the point of tangency. Now, we need to draw our line of tangency. And to draw our line of tangency, I'm going to take my pen here, and we're going to draw a line. I'm not the best artist, but we're going to draw a line that just touches the circle and then extends. So, and I know that's not the best line. We should probably, so what you should do here is, when you're drawing your line of tangency, you should just touch the point. Let's assume the line touched it. So now that you've drawn your line of tangency, all we need to do is select the hypotenuse length. So I'm not really paying attention to the hypotenuse length, but if you want your right triangle to be super big, you can make the line of tangency big, and then we can just draw our hypotenuse. And now that we have everything, we have our exterior angle over here, which is going to be a right angle. And if you want, you can erase this line, but I'm just going to keep it as a reference of how we drew using a point of tangency. We can actually label everything. So I'm going to call this X. I'm going to call this point A. This measurement is going to be X because the radii are going to be the same measurement. And I'm going to call this Y. And I'm going to call this B. And we'll see in the next video by doing some problem solving with points and lines of tangency, because these are super useful when you need to build right triangles and geometry problems, especially when you have tons of rectangles, squares, circles. Your best problem solving strategy in geometry is to somehow use lines and points of tangency to build right triangles. And we can actually build congruent triangles. So over here, if I wanted to, let's actually build another right triangle. So I'm going to place I'm just going to tell you, build another right triangle. Try to build a right triangle. Try to think of a solution how you can build another right triangle. And try to make as many right triangles as you can. And I'll show you my solution in a couple of seconds. So I suggest you pause the video. Alright, so hopefully you've come up with a solution. Now, I'm going to start off by attempting. So let's say these are congruent. I'm going to make another congruent right triangle. So I already have my line of tangency. I have my point of tangency, which is over here. I'm going to draw a right triangle over here. So I'm going to build a right triangle. I'm going to place another point right here just for reference. So now I'm just going to draw my hypotenuse. And there you go. We have two right triangles built. Now let's try to build another one. Hopefully you've come up with a solution. I'm going to draw another radius, since I don't want to get too messy here. So let's just draw another radius. And this is going to be another point of tangency, so I'm just going to label it as T. Now this point of tangency needs to have a line of tangency, so let's draw a line of tangency. So I drew my line of tangency, and that is my line of tangency. And we can extend the line. Okay, there we go. So that's my point of tangency. Now that I have a point of tangency, I'm going to draw out from the center point. And to construct this triangle, I'm going to make it congruent. So I'm going to place a reference point over here, and we are just going to draw the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse can be like that. And there we go. We've built another right triangle. Now, if we again want to be congruent, I can just draw some dash lines. So it's going to be around here. And I am going to erase that in a second. But to build our fourth right triangle, we can go here. And we have successfully built 4 right triangles now. And these are 2 triangles. Now we can even build more triangles. We can draw a line like this, right? And we don't even need to turn this into a dash line. We can draw this. And now we have so many triangles. We even have a rectangle formed. That's just to show how points and lines of tangency are so useful in geometry problems. Hopefully this video was helpful, and yeah.